part 4, the final part, drag rudiments. First one they label a drag, which is a single note with an embellishment at the beginning, 2 notes, 2 grace notes. In my career, this has always been called a ruff. My school of players, who I've mentioned earlier, it's a ruff there. And it is typical now to say that it is to just define it as 2 notes, and definitely 2 notes and nothing else as the embellishment. That was typically done in both in drum corps and orchestral drumming with a multiple bounce stroke in my training. And in corps it was done very tightly, zet, with a very short buzz, but it was a buzz. When in that kind of form, single notes with that embellishment on it, and it was done the same way in orchestral snare drum, a multiple bounce stroke. The reason you might do the 2 notes in an orchestral setting was just for volume, typically, but that was a multiple bounce thing. A drag, an open drag in my drum corps playing would be in the form of a single 30-second note double stroke in the middle of a run of 16th notes. So, and we wouldn't be referring to individual drags, except it was always apparently referred to the double stroke itself. It was never referred to this way in that setting when I was around. It just meant a single double stroke in the middle of a run of faster notes. Single drag tap. Never done anything with that. Never. I mean, in fact, all of these drag rudiments we never used to me, they're really traditional drum, marching rudiments, traditional rudimental snare drum. They really don't have any, to me, any real, an unmetered buzz that way. In corps playing, is just a single note with a zet, with a buzz on it. These Ratamacues and things in this form, we never saw anything like that. It's a real, in a way, a really old-fashioned thing that in a way, if we're cutting stuff from this, I'm a little bit surprised that they're in here still, if we're modernizing, because they don't. I don't know. Maybe people do them in corps now. It's been a long time since I was in it, but I never saw any of that myself. If we were doing something close to these rudiments, it would be converted to a rhythm and written as a rhythm. You would not see this type of notation with a metered roll, and that's different from what was originally done, because a lot of times in older writing it was clearly meant to be played in a rhythm interpretation. So it's which is problematic, because it's not precise. And by the time I was doing it, stuff in rhythm was written in rhythm, period. There's no interpretation as far as what kind of how something was supposed to be timed ever. So the single drag tap, don't know, don't care. Double drag tap, also don't know, don't care. Lesson 25, this one would occur in a rhythm form, and all it is some 16th notes with a single metered double stroke, 30-second note double stroke. Form we see on this page is just one form of it. I've seen it. I feel like I've seen it in other forms, but I never studied it that closely, because it's nothing. Single dragadiddle doesn't do anything for me. Don't know what that. Never bothered with that. drag paradiddle number 1. Okay, that double should be metered. It should not be a tight unmetered buzz or unmetered double stroke. That should be on a 16th note timing with that. And I think they should start writing it that way. I think it's continuing this imprecise notation from the 1920s, I think, is ill-advised. Same with the drag paradiddle number 2. Those doubles should be metered. Dot ticka dot ticka dot ticka 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 dot ticka dot ticka dot ticka ticka ticka, double strokes there. I don't understand that reasoning. Single Ratamacue. I think I get in trouble with some of my friends because they like the things and I don't. To me, it's a really. I think I wrote that it would be if striped pantaloons and an ostrich feather in your cap were a rudiment, then this would be that kind of rudiment. It's a little bit. Can't do anything with it. I've been working on them lately, just because you can't say you can't do your Ratamacues or have them be weak, but it doesn't. I don't get it. Double Ratamacue, don't care. I do them. I'll do them. Triple Ratamacue, don't care. I've tried writing a couple of pages where I put them into rhythm form just to see what would develop, and it wasn't anything much for me. That's maybe I'm not creative enough to make it work, but those are a little bit harder. So this whole drag rudiment section is just kind of a little problematic, just from we're a little bit anachronistic with some of the notation, and anachronistic just for how these things work in music now, and I'm not wild about it. I don't know. See you next time. Thanks. Go to cruiseshipdrummer.com. Follow me on YouTube.